What's good, creative people? What's up? What's up? Robbie Bright Jones here from RBJ Creative Studio, and today we're doing another tutorial. So today we're going to learn something about how to get previews or how to do previews after you're done with your designs. So let me show you one sample that I have here. So there's this design I did, I think was it last year or so, and how to do something like this. But then this looks like the basics of it, so let's get to it real quick. So first of all, you open your new document, you make sure your rulers are in place. The horizontal ruler and the vertical ruler are all in place. Then you drag in your work. So I'm going to drag in the work that I want to work on. So something for the preview. I think I have my Taurus artwork here, so I'll drag that one into the new document and hit OK. So what we're going to do is we're going to give the document a background. So we're going to give it a very nice background. Then we'll make sure we work around the artwork. So this is how it's going to be. So first of all, you make sure your artwork is centered in the middle. Then looking at the background in our artwork, it looks like a black thing. I mean, there's more like black in it. So let's find a background with like more blacks in it. So I'll just create something like a kind of ashy looking text, rectangle, yeah. And then after that, you make sure you lock it. So I have this resource I've been using. It's very good. It's called the Spotlight. It kind of gives you a deeper, I don't know how to put it, but this is how it looks like. I mean, it's like a gradient, but then a black and white gradient, and it works very well for me whenever I want to use any kind of black thing or anything. Yeah. So there you have it. We have our background in place, and this is not the background, like we can add more spice to it, but then let's just get straight to what we want to do. So first of all, you can create a drop shadow for the artwork. So instead of giving it a normal it being there like that, you can create a shadow. So set the opacity and the spread and everything to the right amount that you want. Hit on OK, and I'm very sure I've taught you guys this. You can separate an effect from a layer. So I'm going to separate the drop shadow from the Taurus wallpaper. So you right click on the drop shadow here, then you come down to create layer, then it's going to work for you. So this is how it works. I mean, it creates the shadow from the artwork. So what you have to do is make sure you work around it. So one thing I just noticed is since we're going to use our shadows, we'd have to make sure we're taking off the background. That's something like this. That's the ashy part of it. So we're going to be left with the spotlight only. Then let's work around the shadow. So we've separated the shadow from the artwork. So something we can do is we can Control T for selection or for transform controls. Then you come to this side for the warp. So you hit on the warp and you can warp around the shadow as much as you want, anything you want to do. For me, I'll just take the middle side into the artwork, bring the edges down a bit, yeah, and I'll bring this side out a bit. Nice, yeah. Then you hit OK or you press the sign up there, but we have to reduce the opacity too. We don't want it being that much because it's supposed to act like a shadow. Shadows too don't have like deeper how do you call it? It doesn't look very deep and all those things. So now we're done with the shadow part. Something we can do aside the shadow is also we can duplicate the artwork, that's the Taurus wallpaper, reduce the size, take it up a bit, or anywhere you want to place it. I think I need to rasterize this guy. Let me just rasterize this guy real quick. So when you bring it here like this, you can transform it, hold the warp, go around it however you want it to be. Just try to be creative or anything. Then when you're done, you can reduce the size, duplicate one, bring it somewhere, duplicate one, bring it somewhere, and duplicate another. So now that we have that out of the way, you can change the rotation aspect for each and every one of them. Then what we're going to do is, I'm very sure we all know about motion blur. So if you don't know about motion blur, let me just hit on it real quick. So you select one of the small artworks, then you come to filter, to blur, and to motion blur. So this is how motion blur works. It works like the normal Gaussian blur, but this time around it depicts like a movement in the image or the object or whatever you want to apply to. So you just add the motion blur to the the small artwork there, and you hit on OK. So this is how it looks like. It's going to look blurred, like kind of blurred. So you can choose to apply to one, then apply to another one, but for the next one you might not want to. It depends. Like, all these things are like personal preference or something. So now that we've applied the motion blur to both, we can now apply a different effect to the others. So instead of motion blur, we can just use the normal Gaussian blur for this guy. Not much, just a little bit, so we can still get to see what's there. So same thing applies to the other small artwork. So it's going to apply to it. And one thing we can do also is, duplicate and make sure it's at the very edge of the artwork or the working space. Then you can increase the Gaussian blur. So the idea is it's more like there's this artwork, but then there are little artworks of the artwork around it that are just floating around, something of that sort. So I just want you to get the idea, so in case you want to create your own version, you know how to go about it. So you have a bigger version here, then a small version can just pop up somewhere around here. So the placement also works very much. You need to make sure your placement is going around. Then let's try and take one guy up to the side too, just something like this. We can also rotate it or do anything we want to it, so that it gives us the kind of vibe that there's this fallen flyers or fallen flyers. I think I'm correct, of the artwork that we've done. So something like this won't be bad at all. And you can add spice, like a spice to it. You can spice it up. So you choose white as your foreground color. You choose your rectangle. Make sure you get the rectangle in the middle of the document or the canvas. Rasterize it and clean half of the white rectangle. So I'm going to clean half, and after cleaning half, you have to reduce the opacity to 20%. So after cleaning, I'm going to reduce to 20%, and now this is how it looks like. So you can basically, it's like you're trying to give it some kind of, how do you say this, like there's a light reflection or something on it, and it looks kind of cool though. So this can be the outcome of how your flyer is going to turn out. For me, this is how I would want it to turn out. I just want you people to get the idea. And there's another thing that you can try to I modeled a signboard as is it a poster or a billboard? Nah, something like a signboard, a poster thing. Yeah, I modeled this in Cinema 4D, added my number, so you can, instead of, how should I put it? Instead of doing this, you can put a different flyer. So I modeled this with a size 20 inches by 20 inches. So if you want to bring a work in, you have to make sure the work is a 20 inch by 20 inch work. So let me just bring this guy, put it on it real quick. Okay, enter. So here we're going to work with the control button on the keyboard. So you center into the is this a poster or a billboard or I just don't know. You center, then you hold control so you can drag just at the pointy edge of the artwork. So you come to this side, you hold control, then you drag to the other side, you hold control, then you drag. So this is how it works. So as soon as you're done, you just hit enter, and it fits into the board or the signboard or whatever. Yeah, and it looks very nice. And I did it in such a way that you can change the colors. So this is how we change the color. You have to overlay a rectangle. You choose a rectangle, overlay it on the whole canvas. Make sure you change the blend option to hue or color. Color works alright, but then it gives you a different feel. I didn't want this feel, so I went for hue, because hue works on only the colors. So this is how it works. You can do this to preview your flyers or preview your designs, or you can also do this to preview your designs. So yeah, that's how we do it. So thank you very much guys for watching the video. Kindly subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, share. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments section, and yeah, I'll make sure I see you the next time with another tutorial or another reaction or another food challenge. Bye bye.